Yo, what is up, you guys? I hope all is well. I got a fun video for you guys on deck. We will be watching. I love this guy's channel. This guy's channel is fucking fire. I love the questions he asks. It's super intelligent. It really gets down to the nitty gritty. And I think it breaks a lot of barriers, quite frankly, that otherwise would not happen. The video we will be watching is titled Rules of Modern Dating, Men and Women. And in quotation marks, it's complicated. And the number one thing that you will notice is, well, not even the number one thing, but a few things you will notice is a lot of hypocrisy and a lot of quote unquote, we deserve. We deserve. Now, for me, I've said this in multiple videos. I had a lot of masculine role models around me. I still do, always have. And I thank God for that, quite frankly. Quite frankly. And I, not once in my life, have ever believed that I have deserved anything. And I think that that is a masculine male thing. I do think that that is something that is unique to men because, and you guys have heard this phrase thrown around before, men must become, women just are. And the best way that you can visualize this or think about this is women, when they're young, well, even when they are just born, are born with value and have value in their younger years, whereas men obtain that value later in life, whereas women lose it. And you see, especially in the modern era, you see women trying desperately to hold on to the value by manipulation, by deceit, by delusion. They try and hold on to this value and try and convince men, especially, that they still have value and that they should not think the way that their DNA tells them to think, that other men tell them to think. That is the reality. You see this in the modern era. So this is a fun video. Let's dive into this. And without further ado, let's get into this now. By the way, the channel is called It's Complicated Channel. Huge channel. My hat's off to this guy. Fucking great content. This guy, he gets after it. Great questions. Fucking just pimping. Here we go.
Why is a woman's love more likely something that needs to be earned through courtship than a man's love?
Because we're worth more than anything in the world.
I can't even get fucking 5 seconds into this shit without the most arrogant, delusional statement in the world. Okay. Now, yes, some fucking betas, some fucking nerds, pussies do this, but the men, or see it this way, but the men that these two chicks are into do not see it this way. But let's just put that aside for a second. What type of arrogance does it require while wearing a fucking peacock uniform with your tits and everything hanging out that in any other era would qualify you as a hooah, for you to say that we are the best, we're the best prize in the world. We're the best prize in the world. Wow.
Because men could get off to anything, and I feel like girls need a little more persuasion to be with someone.
I think women
even that comment, that chick is basically saying that that guys don't require a lot for them to say yes, whereas women require more. A lot of these comments are just so fucking rude to guys.
And into love than men are sometimes.
Totally disagree. I think men, by and large, are far more romantic. Women say that they care about love. They do not. They care about the things that come with love, but they don't care about love. Men are far more into that. They are far more into the romance than women.
I feel like a lot of the time we might be harder to please, and that the extra effort at the beginning through courtship is something that's greater appreciated through women than men.
Courtship? Courtship? Do these women not realize that that happened when women were traditional women? But that's not the world we live in. See, the way the game is played now, and this is a mistake that women make, they hold to the same rules that were played before while also clinging to the benefits of the modern era. Whereas men and men are out here saying, huh? But this and this, it doesn't make sense. In other words, women want want a traditional man and all the things that come with a traditional man, but they are not traditional women. They are not traditional women.
I was just gonna say that men are kind of trash.
It's also a little
Wow. Wow. Yikes. I can only imagine now the fucking guy who's gonna marry this fucking 6'3" wildebeest. Just a terrible comment. Wow.
old school, I feel like, to be a little more like the courting phase as opposed to the wheeling and dealing.
Can you guys imagine in what world is it acceptable to classify all men as trash, as a piece of trash, as something that is thrown out when you're done with it, as garbage? Can you imagine that?
That happens these days.
Why is a man expected to proudly give away his assets in the hopes that a woman will reciprocate?
Because we give that bomb ass pussy.
Oh! Oh! That's what it always comes down to. Women think that their pussy is made of gold, and therefore they deserve this and this and this. And you know what? Some guys make it seem like their pussy is made of gold. Listen here, bimbo. Your pussy is probably average at best. It's the same as every other pussy. It's the same as every other dry, it's the same as every other snatch out there. Is every other salami sandwich.
Why did society set things up that way?
Yeah, girl, I know. I told you. I told you, girl.
Why is a man expected to proudly give away his assets in the hopes that a woman will reciprocate?
Because why not give her values when she deserves it?
Again, the common answer always, when they don't know, is to say
it's no secret that guys
that they deserve it. Which to me is a total bullshit answer. It's totally a cop out. It's totally nonsense. All right, let's get back into this bullshit. Here we go. I cannot believe the audacity, the disrespect, and more men need to watch this because the disrespect is it's not even accurate. And it makes you think that modern women actually, like most of them, actually hate and think men are shit. And the only reason, the only use they have for them is because, well, they got a dick. I think women are worse now than at any time men acted, especially during the era of the patriarchy, okay, which I don't even really believe in myself. I think women now are worse by and large and treat men worse now than men have ever treated women by and large. Ever.
Well, what makes a woman deserve it any more than a man does?
Because she provides a family, life-wise.
But doesn't the man provide the seed that allows a woman to give birth?
Right. So it'll be both ways. I guess they both can be rewarded. They get both.
Well, why don't women typically court men the way men are expected to court women?
Probably because they're scared. They're probably going to overpower women.
If I were to go on a first date again, I would want to be courted. I would want to feel special. Girls.
How many guys have you been with? You want to be courted. You want to play by the old rules, but how many guys you been with? I'm sure both these chicks have been with over 200 dudes combined. Easily. No, easily. Any guy who has gotten, especially when you're younger, has gotten with a good amount of chicks knows how many guys chicks are really with. If you have gotten chicks as a guy and or your group of friends has gotten chicks and chicks have been passed around your group, you know how many guys women sleep with.
Girls take that more into consideration than guys do, so I feel like that's why guys should do that more than.
Well, don't you think that a man also wants to feel special?
I think so too, but I
So
feel
why don't women court men?
They should.
absolutely.
Well,
it goes both ways.
they should, but are they?
Depends.
Hell no, they're not. Hell no. Fuck no, they're not.
On the woman.
Well, I mean, how often does that happen?
Not.
Never. Unless the chick is like super into the guy. But even then, she'll basically stop after the initial thing of telling the guy that she thinks he's handsome and attractive and all that shit.
Often.
Okay.
Well, then
why,
maybe the man isn't looking for the right woman. If that's
why do you think that there isn't a push to, like, have women court men?
Because
to
I
make
think
them
some
feel
people,
special?
because I think people look at the old time, but I think it should go both ways. I think you should make your significant other feel special, and I think they should make you feel special.
No, I
should be a
feel
balance.
guys definitely feel the same way no matter how
But
many.
for first
yeah.
date, I just think that you're just trying to impress, and that's why guys pay to impress, but it doesn't have to be that way.
Absolutely.
With that expectation just kind of like continues like the patriarchy and just like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of like plays into it.
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean.
So actually that's interesting. I just feel like that's the way it's been for so long. And that
But I mean, doesn't that prove that the patriarchy benefits women?
See, women have traded off having guys fight for them, die for them, for the right to protect them, to provide for them, to love them. They have traded that for whatever this is now, which is like some fucked up version of a relationship. If I was a woman, I would think that the trade-off was not worth it and that it was far worse now than what it ever was before.
I think it has pros and cons for both men and women.
Yeah.
So why would women want to tear down the patriarchy if there's things in the patriarchy that benefit women?
Because most of it is detrimental.
Yeah.
Most of it is negative.
I'd say like
What? What's detrimental? Oh my God.
Like the things in the patriarchy that benefit women in this scenario is like men just treating us with respect, and like the whole courtship situation is like men respecting women and taking them out on dates before they want to have sex with them or like want to fuck them or whatever. And I feel like
Guys, never be under any delusion. No chicks like sex more than you. And deep down, even if a chick wants to cap and act like, you know, she fucking loves sex as much, it's total bullshit. Okay. Women always see their pussy as pure gold. Okay. Never forget that.
That's just general respect. And like, if that's the only aspect of the patriarchy that helps women, I'd still fucking tear it down.
Right.
I don't know. Like,
I'd still fucking tear it down. I don't know.
I think men sometimes are seen
I'd still fucking tear it down.
as having better jobs and more money than women still, even in this day of age, rather than women are still, I think, a bit seen as the homemakers and the person who looks after the house and the kids.
Do you think modern women are more interested in being nurturing or being independent?
Independent, independent, independent.
We focus on being independent that we forget about the nurturing part. So I'll say it's a 50.
Modern women are not feminine. They are not nurturing. They're basically pretend men.
50, but we lean more to independence. Yeah, because this day and age, these niggas don't be doing what they need to do. These guys don't be doing what they need to.
It's funny how he gets them into a corner, and this chick on the right finds a way to blame it on the guys, why they are not nurturing, why they would rather prefer independence over being nurturing.
To do. And
the audacity to blame guys for her, or them rather, not being nurturing, not living by their feminine roles, DNA, whatever you want to call it.
we have to pick up the slack. So it's like, you know, independence.
Does a man get to define what a woman is?
Not at all.
So what gives a woman the right to define what a man is?
Listen.
He said, she goes, not at all. Not at all.
History.
Oh
Okay,
my gosh.
I'd
We
say
gotta
you're
watch
asking
that
her-
again.
Okay, I'd say you're asking a group of girls.
Not at all.
So what gives a woman the right to define what a man is?
History.
Okay, I'd say you're asking a group of girls that would.
History. When the fuck has that ever happened in history? When the fuck has that ever happened in history? It's like some of these chicks forget how the world used to be. And because at the end of the day, the main problems, the world that we live in, especially in the West, is not even close to how people have had to live in the past, where they have had to base decisions off of real survival. Now, because there is not that need, a lot of lines are blurred. A lot of the realities are blurred.
Say independent, but I don't.
Wouldn't.
Okay, I'd say you're asking two girls who would say independent.
Independent for sure. For me, yeah.
But I also don't think that not necessarily applies to everyone.
What happens when these women want families?
I think they become nurturing.
See, man, never forget, most of these women have said independent. So let me tell you something right now. And, you know, I'm a Christian. I believe marriage is good. But on the same token, you will be entering marriage with women who desire above everything else to be independent. Can you honestly tell me that that's a recipe for success? Bruh, please.
I think
Bruh.
women, the minute they find the person that they think they want to have a family with, become nurturing versus independent. I think they want to have their sense of independence and they try to keep their sense of independence, but I think they naturally become nurturing.
So then wouldn't that mean that the woman's feminine role is conditional while the man's masculine role is static?
Yeah?
Hey.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, isn't that a privilege for women to be able to pick and choose when they want to be feminine?
But I think I think we deserve it. Why not?
Oh, here we go. Deserve again. Here we go. We deserve it just because. We deserve it. Just because.
Men get everything else in the world. Men are.
I think there is.
Okay, but wouldn't that basically be saying that you're okay?
God, this tall chick is fucking the worst. She's so delusional. She's off about everything.
With the double standards only when it benefits you, and you're only complaining about the double standards when it doesn't benefit you?
No, I wouldn't say.
That's picking and choosing, right?
I get exactly what you're saying, but I do also think that double standards are a part of our life, and I think men still benefit.
I get what you're saying, but fuck it. I get what you're saying, but fuck it. But no.
From double standards all the time.
Can you name any double standards that benefit men?
No.
You said it.
I think men working sometimes does benefit them.
Okay, but does that have anything to do with relationships?
Yeah. If a man is working all the time, then it definitely impacts their relationship.
But don't you think that women traditionally have wanted men to protect and provide for them?
Yeah.
So then would it be any wonder why men are in leadership roles if women wanted it that way?
I don't wonder it sometimes. Like, I think there's certain women who want to be super independent and have the leadership roles, but then I think there's other women who still want to be the nurturing mother type.
I worked hard in.
Guys, my conclusion to this video, as I've said, the main thing is, again, as a Christian, I believe marriage is good. And I believe that it is meant to continue a society. But at the same breath, I would be neglectful if I said to men that they should be continuing into marriage when these women are not marriage material. And they don't want to be wives. They want the wedding, they want the ring, but they don't want to be wives. They don't want to be mothers. So why treat them as such? Why treat them with such adoration if they don't want the respect?
My bachelor's and in my life to have a career that I'm going to very much love. I'm going to be financially dependent and I can do things on my own. And just like,
who cares? Who cares?
Kind of just having men respect that independence, I would say, is the biggest thing. I would agree.
Yeah, let's respect that independence. Okay, fine. You won't get a husband. You'll just get banged out and see you later. Have your independence over there. Hey, you like your independence over there? Hey, you like your independence over there? Yeah.
I think for me, like, also it's kind of the same thing. Like, I don't have to go like preaching about it, but like I think it's just like me knowing in like myself that like I respect myself as a woman, and like I know I am a woman in the world, but also like I am completely independent, and like I'm not gonna need to depend on like another person, let alone another man, to do any of that for me. And I feel like in the past that was most definitely true. Like my grandparents, like she depended
Man, they hate men.
on my grandpa for a lot of things, and like I'm not gonna have to do that, and I think that's wonderful. And like
guys, why would you marry these chicks? They don't like you. In fact, they hate you. They hate your masculinity. Not because they necessarily want to, but it's just what they've been taught. So why the fuck would you marry this? Why?
women are just doing a lot of things that they weren't able to do before, like right now, and I'm fully behind that. And it's not like a whole, like you said, fuck men situation. Right, it's just like
that's not what feminism is.
Yeah, it's honestly not about men. A lot of people think feminism is about.
Yeah. It's not about men. It's about power. That's exactly what it's about. Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
The whole like fucking foundation of it is that it's about women like being better and like.
Feminism claims to be about equality, but is often confused with man hating. How can feminists repair this misconception?
I don't think it's our job to repair.
I think it's some people's fragile egos, men in particular, that like.
Oh. What the fuck, guys? What the fuck?
Don't like being targeted like that. I don't know. I just think that that's not ours to repair. Like that was never like the premise on which it was built. It was just built in a way.
Yeah, it was built on racism. It was built on fucking eugenics. That's exactly what it's fucking built on.
That, like, I don't know, we can own our own homes and land and be financially independent and stuff like that.
Yeah, great. Fucking, you're gonna have cats and dogs. Great. And that's what I'm saying, man. Don't listen to this shit. They don't want husbands. Stop proposing to these broads. They don't want husbands. They don't. Stop thinking that you're gonna be a husband. Not with how it used to be. If you're okay with being a cuck and a fucking beta and a husband, fucking happy wife, happy life, then yeah, I guess go ahead. But if you don't think you'd be okay with that, then no, don't go for it, because they don't want you. One, they don't want you as a man, really, and they don't want you as a husband in the traditional role. They don't. They want all the perks that come with what traditional men do, but they don't want any of the expectations of what a traditional woman would do alongside that.
I would agree. I feel like, I don't know, some women take feminism as like, oh, fuck men. And like, again, that's not our situation to repair.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, we try to respect the male's feelings as much as possible because they're already offended that we have women's rights.
Let them have their dominance.
Why do you think men would be offended that women have rights?
Oh, I hear it all the time.
Can you give me an example? Like what specifically?
What a gross chick. This chick is fucking foul, bro. She's fucking foul, bro.
I've heard a lot of people say that we shouldn't have rights still today.
Well, I don't know if men are saying that women shouldn't have rights. I think they're just saying that there should be equal accountability.
Oh, equal
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
accountability, I agree with, but to a certain
You agree with, but to a certain extent.
extent.
Can you name any rights that men have that women aren't also afforded today?
Pay. They say that it's illegal now, but I know that they're still doing it on the low, that they pay more men than they do women.
Guys, this is such bullshit. My master's degree is in industrial organizational psychology. One of the first things that you learn about is protected classes. It is illegal. Businesses would not risk paying men and women differently. This is the most delusional statement in the world. This is the epitome of delusion when they say this bullshit.
Right, but it's illegal, so if that was provable, wouldn't there be class action lawsuits happening every day?
It would definitely be a class action lawsuit, but
What just happened?
She just slapped my ass.
Okay, so if a man did the same thing,
I don't think it's right either way.
right, but
So, like, if a woman were to come slap my ass compared to a man, I feel like that's still not right either way.
Yeah, like that wasn't cool.
okay, do you believe that the gender pay gap is a real thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Why aren't women filing class action lawsuits against companies that don't pay them equally?
Because it's like filing that you got raped. Goes right back down the toilet.
Well, yeah, but if it's a class action lawsuit, you would have a lot of people doing it at the same time, right?
Not necessarily, I don't think. I think it also depends on where you work, what you're employed in, and also like what you work as.
Don't people sue for discrimination all the time?
Mm-hmm.
So why would they not sue for?
These women don't understand how protected they are. They have no idea how much generally people look out for them, support them, help them. They have no clue. They have no fucking clue.
For sexual discrimination.
It's a great question.
Why are there so many women today who say they don't need a man?
Yuck!
Because we're independent. Most of the women have small businesses or a business, or they probably have a hair salon. That is a business. But yeah, mostly because most of them have businesses.
What? Most of them have businesses. What? The fuck you talking about?
Does the fact that women no longer need men
That's just not true. That's fucking dumb.
mean the main reason women were with men was because they had to be?
Yeah, it's because they had to be back in the day.
Well, then wouldn't that prove that men were often seen as a utility to be used?
They're still used. They're still tools.
Well, then how is that different than men objectifying women?
True. There's no difference.
So then why are men shamed for objectifying women while women will often objectify a man financially?
Because they're muscle heads. Muscle heads.
Does the fact that women no longer need men
That chick is tripping, brah. That chick is tripping, brah. She don't even know what the fuck she's saying.
mean that the main reason
All right, this is the last couple we're gonna watch, guys.
women were with men was because they had to be?
Yes. Originally, yes.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
So wouldn't
All right, there you guys have it. There you guys have it. So if that's the case, guys, again, why would you marry these chicks? If they believe that in the past they only married because they had to, that they needed men, then why the fuck would you marry them now? They don't need you. No matter how much they try and make you believe that they do while you're in a fucking relationship with them for a minute, it's not true. They really think this, what they just said.
that prove that men were often seen as a utility to be used?
Used to be, yeah. Yeah,
So then how is that different than men objectifying women?
It's not.
So then why are men shamed for objectifying women sexually when women often objectify men financially?
Because that's the society we live in, that it's like, it's a thing to objectify them versus us.
Well, right, but I'm just saying, shouldn't we each be equally shamed?
Yeah.
Or maybe
No, we
nobody
should.
is shamed at all?
No, we should. We should either be equally shamed
Well,
or not
we
shamed
should,
at all.
but are we?
No,
Why not?
because it's the society we live in.
Well, wouldn't you say that the fact that men are shamed and women aren't shamed maybe is kind of...
But women are still shamed in other reasons, in
Yeah,
other ways. We're
yeah.
shamed all the time.
Why is it when women are called out on their bad behavior, they often blame society or how they were raised, but when men are called out, they're more likely to be held accountable?
That's a great question. That's a great
Hey, bro, let's go. We got a homie up in here. Let's go. Yeah. Hey.
question because I don't even know the answer to that, but I definitely see it.
Is it possible?
Hey, I don't even know, bro, but I fucking see it, dog.
Is it possible to have equality without equal accountability?
Nah, that's the wrong. That's what's wrong out here, man. People got to know how to take accountability to stuff, man. Admit when you're wrong. Admit when you don't know something. Admit when you want to learn something.
I mean, if you really want to talk about that, let's just start here. Mother's Day is here. Father's Day is at the bottom. It's not really appreciated. I think the culture and the environment that we're building right now is it's different. You know, it's a lot of women can't get away with more things than a man can. So.
Okay, is it possible to have equality without equal accountability?
I'm gonna say no.
All right. We'll end it there, guys. My final thoughts are this. You're delusional if you think men and women are equal in modern day. We're not. I would say women, as in every other culture, are granted more access, more rights. Maybe not more rights, but more access, more things, verbal agreements, expectations than men are. And secondly, I said this twice throughout this video. I believe in marriage, and I'm a Christian, and I believe that in a perfect world, that's what you would do. But on the same token, after watching things like this and seeing what I've seen myself, and I just don't know what logical man would enter into a marriage with any of these chicks. They don't know how to be wives. They don't want to be wives. They don't appreciate your masculinity. They don't appreciate you as a man. They see you as more of a fucking like side tool that is meant to make them happy rather than something they need. So if that's the case, then fuck it. Okay, then that's how we will proceed. And then we won't enter into serious relationships with you. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for me. What a crazy video. The guy's comment is top notch, or content is top notch. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. The channel is growing like crazy only after a couple months here. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy, Willow. In fact, your feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Love you guys. See you guys next time. Stay kings, fellas. Bye-bye.